Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I decided to switch it up because, I feel like I've been making too much gaming content, which don't get me wrong, I do love it, but we're in a little bit of a pickle right now with the Inside the Backrooms game. If you don't remember, if you didn't watch that at the end, I died, and so did somebody else. So when we spawned into the next game, we left, we were done for the night, but me and the person who died, we didn't unlock the next level, so now we're gonna have to redo the level that we just did. Which that has happened before. We've already had to redo one of the levels because it didn't save for somebody because they died. Or no, they didn't even play the level, we played it without them. But I think we're all just a little annoyed, or I'm annoyed, because why didn't it save? I spawned into the next level. Anyways, I thought I would take a little break from the gaming videos because I don't want to start something new while we have the Backrooms series going. So I'm gonna read some Reddit Am I the A-hole stories. Fun fact, that actually was my first video. I was reading Am I the A-hole stories, but I deleted the video because I was not too happy with that video. Before I start reading, I do just want to say I'm not the best reader. I run out of breath a lot and I do trip up on my words, so just bear with me, I'm gonna do my best. Anyway, let's get into some people's drama. If you're at your house, go grab a snack, go get comfy on the couch or your bed or whatever. I like to listen to this while I'm at work. I listen to people read stories at work, so if you're listening to this at work, I hope you're having a good shift. First story, number 1. I know my sister's 23 female boyfriend, 25 male, is cheating on her. I have proof, but he is threatening to tell her I broke something of hers that he paid to replace. I also believe that most of these stories have updates. Hi everyone. So I have never used Reddit before. I am 15 and I live in Pennsylvania with my sister. I technically am supposed to be living with my mom, but she is always away on business. I live with my sister 40 weeks out of the year. A while back, I tripped over the step and knocked the table. I'm assuming knocked the table over. Unfortunately for me, she had a flower vase on the table and it fell and shattered. Okay, that's not your fault though. I was freaking out because it looked really expensive and I thought she would kill me. It was stupid, but I tried to fix it with super glue. I know again, stupid, but I was panicking. Her boyfriend came home and saw what had happened. He told me to calm down, we will just go get another one. She got it from this online store and he ordered the exact same one from online. It cost $150. $150 for a vase is pretty expensive. He told me once I get a job, I have to pay him back the money. 2 weeks ago, I went to go use the computer and he was still logged into his Facebook. Oh no. You know how when you get a message on Facebook, it pops up on your screen? Yep. That's what had happened, but it has been there for a while, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it just popped up and it didn't fully go away yet. I read the message this woman sent, and it said something about giving him a job. Oh boy, this is getting juicy. I read through the messages, and it was basically sending and there was even times to meet up. Oh no. I took photos of the conversation with my cell phone. Good job. The more I started to think about it, the more I was put off telling my sister. I thought that I really had no proof he slept with her, and I was not sure if he was cheating or not. It wasn't physically as far as I knew at the time, to my understanding. Cheating is when you have someone. Cheating is not just physical, it can be mental too. 3 nights ago, I came home and I walked in on my sister's boyfriend making out with the same lady from Facebook. I arrived home earlier than I should have and he kind of freaked out. He told me not to tell my sister because I owed him one. Ew, no. A broken vase is not the same to you cheating on your girlfriend. He told me I still owed him money from the broken vase and my sister would be pissed at me for breaking it in the first place. He is not here at the moment. I am upstairs in my room, and my sister is downstairs with her friend. I don't know what to do. So, as I'm looking at this, the top comments said the same thing what I said. An $150 vase is nothing compared to knowing that your boyfriend is cheating on you. Okay, I don't have a sister, I have 2 brothers. So I'm trying to think. I mean, if one of my siblings broke an $150 vase, I wouldn't be mad. It's a vase. I don't care. But if they knew that I was being cheated on, and if they told me that and then also said, "Oh yeah, I broke an $150 vase," I think the being cheated on would outweigh a broken vase. Oh my god, this was June 6th, 2016. Wow, I didn't realize. I can't believe that was 10 years ago. Oh my god. Anyways, there's an update. It says, "Thank you. I told my sister and showed her the proof. The short version of event is, she could care less about the vase. Good sister. She was more upset about the blackmailing and cheating than anything. She rents her place. He just lives there like me. She texted him and told him not to bother coming home. If he comes home, she will call the cops." You know what? I'm happy with how that ended. Because again, you're looking out for your sister. She's being cheated on. She's not going to be mad about a $150 vase. Let's see what some of the comments said. "Yeah, I'm glad the sister dumped his manipulative ass. What a jerk." Well, OP is 15, so I could totally understand why she was so concerned about the vase. That's true, but again, being cheated on up here, broken vase. Yeah. All right, we got another one that sounds
juicy.
This one is my 29 male, wife 27 female, met a man on holiday, doesn't acknowledge my feelings about it. This was posted, this wasn't posted too long ago, June 21st, 2026. So my wife and I planned to visit a mutual friend in a different country. I booked time off work based on the time my wife had booked off work. However, right before we left, she found out that her work had booked additional days and couldn't undo it. Additional days, so she got what, extra days? So I looked into getting that time off too, but I couldn't swing it. Then it transpired that her work then told her they could revert it, but she wanted to spend the extra 2 days on holiday with our friend. I thought this on its own was kind of hurtful as we were planning to do it together, and now I'd have to travel back by myself while she stayed on. But whatever, that's what we did. When texting over those 2 days, she'd say she was with our friend and at dinner, etc., and pictures of just our friend or the dinner table. I'm assuming this friend is a male? Then when she got home, she mentioned that some guy approached her in the street and they talked about life for an hour. That's so random, what the hell? And apparently he was a landlord, and since our friend wants to move out of her place... Okay, so the friend is a girl. She gave him her number, and then they all met for dinner. Our mutual friend and him apparently did not get on. So my reaction was, what the f- Wait a second, that sentence didn't make sense. Our mutual friend and him apparently did not get on. Oh, landlord, whatever, so they didn't really plan anything out. Some stranger comes up to hit on you, and your reaction is to talk for an hour, give him your number, and then have dinner with him. So she gets annoyed, saying, "I knew you'd be like this. This is why I didn't tell you until now." Okay, you know what? I'm seeing both sides. It is a little weird. As like a woman, if I had a random man approach me on the street, you know, I would be freaked out. I would probably run away. I don't like talking to strangers. I'm just like that. Maybe there was different intentions. Maybe she was just trying to help out her friend, but an hour conversation is weird, especially just like randomly in the road, just on the street. It kind of makes me think something else happened, how they met, and she's just saying, "Yeah, we just met on the street." Like, maybe they met somewhere else, I don't know. Which is worse in my opinion, because she knew it would upset me, but just did it anyway and hid it by mentioning other things she was doing and not this, until it was too late for me to say anything. She says it was all innocent, he wasn't like that at all, and he just talked to her because she has the same tattoo as his sister, and that she told him she was married. I don't know, she's always been loyal, but super naive with this stuff. But the fact that she knew I wouldn't like it and did all this is so calculated. I really don't like it. And apparently, she and my friend talked about me, and our friend said she didn't think my wife would tell me because I'm the type to get jealous over that. For context, my wife and I are probably about the same level of jealousy, and I know she would not be happy if I did this. But I would forgive her if she apologized, but she won't. The most she'll say is that she's sorry that she didn't tell me until she got back. But then when I said the whole thing was up, not just that, she got annoyed and started defending her decision not to tell me. So we haven't talked in days now. Oh no. Oh, okay. She seems more annoyed at me for being upset than I am. I don't know where to go from here. I don't want to just accept that she did this and doesn't feel bad about it and may do it again. But she doesn't feel she did anything wrong, so she won't apologize, and now she's mad at me for being annoyed at her. No idea what to do. That's where it stops before the next update. I don't know. I don't want to be like... I don't really want to defend the girlfriend, but then I do at the same time. Yes, she probably didn't have those intentions, but talking in the street for an hour is weird. Maybe he did get jealous, maybe there were some words exchanged, but at the same time, if your partner is saying, hey, I don't like this is bothering me, listen to them, acknowledge them, don't just say, yeah, I knew you'd get jealous over this, I knew you wouldn't like this. I think OP responded to some of the comments. This one says, I don't know, she's always been loyal but super naive with this stuff. My man, she is not naive with this stuff. OP said, nah, she genuinely is. I've been with her before when this happened. She's a 10 out of 10, so guys always approach her, but she's always assumes it's friendly until it isn't. Like, I've been at parties, bars with her, and come back to find her signaling to me to get her away from guys that she thought were just being friendly, but then became creepy. Okay, well that kind of changes things, because she's... I don't know. Oh, I don't know, this is stressing me out. Where's, like, the actual update of the... Oh, here it is. Oh, July 1st, 2026. 10 days later. I confronted her about it again after a week of not talking. A week? I asked if she had cheated, and she laughed as if it was ridiculous to think that. She seemed convinced everything she did was perfectly normal and fine and couldn't understand why I was upset. I doubled down on how serious it was and how suspicious all of it was, and asked to see her messages with him. She had no objections to it. Okay, that's a good sign. Which was a huge relief. The messages themselves were mostly reassuring, though honestly, I'm not completely happy with everything. Ooh, was she like deleting texts? They had been texting a lot, mostly after the drinks, talking about the big argument he got into with her friend, but was kind of disheartening seeing all those texts when at the same time she was barely texting me. You know what that is? That is hurtful. So there was nothing flirty on her side, but they were both talking about how glad they were that they had met and how fun it was. But the whole text she'd been saying had no indication that he was into her. He was starting messages with baby. Oh, hell no. I freaked out at that. She kept saying it was just how friends talk. Oh, she's hiding something. I said obviously not. I would never call a woman friend of mine baby. But she was adamant. And when talking about her friend, he said she was probably just jealous of her, which alone I think is telling, and a lot of messages of him just saying how amazing and everything she is. She wasn't really giving the same back. Okay, good on her, but at the same time, tell him to like... off. But the final message was him messaging her again 2 days ago saying, hey sexy lady, how are you? So I lost my shit at that. Rightfully so. She said yeah, that's why I stopped texting him, it grossed her out. To be fair, she had stopped texting him and archived the chat. So she's hiding it. Whether the chat was archived because she was creeped out or whether she was hiding it from me, I don't know. What did I just say? But she didn't try to hide it from me when I asked to see. That is true. Could she have deleted some of the messages before this? I guess she could have, but I'm leaning towards she didn't because she had already archived the chat and seemingly wasn't expecting me to see them. and could have just deleted everything. So on one hand, I'm glad she finally stopped when it was too obvious to ignore, but on the other hand, I'm really annoyed that she was acting like I was insane for saying he was interested in her. Even after all this, she was still annoyed at me for calling her naive, when I obviously was right. I mean, she's apparently naive enough to think the guy wasn't a creep in the first place, but aware enough to know how I'd react and hide it, and got annoyed at me for calling her naive if she genuinely believed he wasn't like that from the start. Also saw his profile photo and he didn't look attractive, which helped, not gonna lie. Okay. But yeah, I guess it's all over now. Still a bit hurtful, even though I don't think anything actually happened. It's depressing as hell knowing when I had to go back to work she was doing this. And the way she handled the whole thing, I really can't imagine a worse way treating your spouse. Even if she didn't cheat, I really have to question her judgment if she genuinely thought this guy wanted to be friends. And the decision to just not tell me until she was in front of me and gaslight me about it. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. To be fair, some people just can't read hints like that some people are interested, but at the same time, he was calling her names like baby and sexy lady. That itself, sorry, but you would have been blocked. I wouldn't have even entertained that at all, but I don't know, man. I feel like both of them are the a-hole in this situation. Yeah, she probably did gaslight him, but at the same time, maybe he brought it up in a rude way, or they both just kind of were rude to each other. I think if like the boyfriend said like, hey, this is really bothering me, as a guy, I know how he's talking to you, I can tell he's interested in you, I'm not comfortable with this at all. And then if she responded the same way like that, then that would have been your side. I don't know, I'm just gonna say both of them are the a-hole in this situation. I feel like both of them could have talked to each other in a different way. I'm gonna read one more story. Oh, this one looks kinda short. Oh well. Am I the a-hole for going no contact with my in-laws? You know, I've heard so many bad stories about, like, especially mother-in-laws hating their daughter-in-laws. Like, oh, the boy mobs. Ugh. I, 33 female, and my partner Leo, 37 male, have 3 children. 1 from my previous relationship and 2 with Leo. Leo sees all 3 as his, and we are in the process of him adopting our eldest girl. That is awesome. Good for you, I am so happy for you guys. Leo's family has always had a problem with me. For context, his sister and mother are the main antagonists of this post. Both women have been pretty consistent in treating me poorly, and usually in ways that most men wouldn't catch. A venom-filled statement here, an accusatory whisper to me when Leo leaves the room. His mother backs off slightly while he notices but not his sister. What was that sentence? So I'm assuming she leaves the room, and then like, what? Accusatory whisper to me? I'm just gonna keep reading. The bigger issues I've had with them include, but are definitely not limited to, 1. Them hosting an intervention for him while I was pregnant with our first to try to convince him that I had either cheated or got pregnant to force him to support me. To this day, they work into casual conversation about how they would help him when he finally decides to leave me. 2. My mother-in-law calling my grief disgusting in front of my children at a fancy restaurant for Christmas dinner that I had paid for entirely. The grief she was referring to, I had a miscarriage during our second pregnancy and decided to name and bury my angel baby beneath a tree. The same name? Beneath a tree of, I think that's supposed to say of, beneath a tree of the same name. Maybe it was like a willow tree and she named the baby Willow. Or maybe she named the baby birch tree and, I'm sorry, I shouldn't make jokes, that's not funny. Number 3, My sister-in-law announcing loudly at a family gathering that she doesn't think we are caring for our autistic son's needs properly. We are doing everything we can, and his doctors agree that we are already going above and beyond. Shortly after that, she insisted that our children will never matter as much as her friends' children will. What? So, your children won't matter as much to her as a friend's children? That doesn't make any sense. You're an aunt, and you're saying your, I don't know, nieces or nephews or whatever, they're not important to you as your friend's kid? What? Leo and I agreed that, even though I'm personally going no contact, he should still bring the children to visit. However, he doesn't visit much at all for 2 reasons. Firstly, because our 3 children are quite a handful alone, and his family says they are there to visit, not babysit, so he has a hard time being there with them without me. Secondly, though more importantly, he hates how they treat me and had to cut contact until they can be better towards me. That is a great husband, I think. I don't know if they're married. Great partner. I say had because they recently changed. He is planning to take the children to his mother's this coming weekend. I told him to have fun, not in a sarcastic way, and that I'll be home cleaning up and taking a rest. Now he's conflicted because he wants me to come, but I really don't feel supported or respected in that house. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for going no contact with my in-laws? Should I just suck it up like a couple of my friends have suggested? I'll try to answer questions, blah 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 blah. Bottom line, no, you are not the a-hole. You seem like a very nice person. Clearly, if your partner is taking your side, which automatically should be unless if you did something horrible to his family, whatever, then that just shows that clearly your family is doing something wrong. Maybe it's jealousy, maybe they're just jealous. Oh, so the comments are saying something different. This comment was replying to this sentence. Leo and I agreed that even though I'm personally going no contact, he should still bring the children to visit. My god, I can't talk. But this person said, then you're both permitting the abuse of your children because you're cowards. This comment says, not the a-hole, you have a husband problem. Your husband needs to grasp that your children will pick up on the poison your in-laws put down, and it will affect you and your family negatively. You know, I didn't even think of it that way, because if you bring your kids over without, like, their mother, they're gonna be like, oh, what is going on? Like, why isn't my mom here? Why isn't my mom spending time with all of us? Or, you know, if they are all hanging out and the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law do start, like, saying rude about the mom in front of the kids, that's not very nice. So, you know what? I think you guys should all just go no contact with the family, or your husband needs to step up and say, like, that's my wife. You don't talk about her like that. There's an update. Thank you all for every comment, supportive and critical. I read each and every one and heard you, Leo especially. Okay, that's nice. You're including him with this post. He was pretty shocked, but recognized that a lot of what he read wasn't inaccurate and admitted he didn't realize that he was doing so much harm. We are going to therapy together next month. We've booked the date already. Okay, awesome. We decided that it would be me, so I broke the silence to reach out to my mother-in-law. Oh god. I sent her one very non-emotional, I hope, message. It read exactly as shown below. Oh, and we have what she said. She says, hi, mother-in-law. It says names are changed, privacy reasons. Leo, let me know you were hoping to see the children during his upcoming parenting time. We will not be arranging a visit at this time. As the parents, our priority is providing a healthy environment for the children. To protect their emotional well-being, we have a strict boundary against them being exposed to open criticism or disrespect towards either of their parents. Go off. Because this boundary has been repeatedly crossed in front of our children, we cannot trust that a neutral environment will be maintained. Visits will remain on hold until we see a sustained, positive change in how our family is treated. Moving forward, all further inquiries, updates, or communication regarding this matter must be directed to Leo. Please do not contact me directly about this moving forward. Oh my god. That is crazy. Oh yeah, and I didn't really finish reading the whole sentence because I wanted to read the text. Leo stands much more firmly with me now, I believe, and we have united in agreeing that the children matter most, and the very real risk of his family saying poisonous things is not something either of us are willing to take. You know what? I am honestly, like, speechless. I love the text. The end, do not contact me directly, contact Leo, that's just like the cherry on the cake. Wait, I want to see if there was an update if, like, the mom responded to that text, because that would be awesome, but I'm not seeing anything. Oh, no, I want to see what the mom said. Okay, so I think you guys were both the a-holes in the beginning, but now you're not, because I think you were being a little selfish, not thinking about your kids, but now you guys both realize that. You're going to therapy. You told his mother to basically fuck off. I think you guys are solid now. And honestly, I don't understand why, like, mother-in-laws, I wasn't really fully aware that sister-in-laws were like this too, but the mother-in-laws that are like that, like why? You should be happy that your son is with somebody that he loves, he has kids, whatever. Unless if it's like, you really hate who your who your son is with, and she's just like a complete bitch and just like is rude and everything, then that's understandable, but it seems like this person is pretty nice. They got kids together. Leave them alone, man. Don't be rude. Costs $0 to be nice. Alright, well, I've done too much talking today between work and reading stories, and my throat is starting to hurt now, so I'm gonna stop reading. On that note, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments about any of these stories, feel free to comment on this video what your opinion was. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know this was a little different than what I normally post, but I'm gonna try to switch it up. Alright, well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening to me read stories, or if you're still here watching. And I will see you in the next video.